Hi everybody, I just wanted to do a wee video while I'm a bit steaming about 5 tips for beginner guitar players. And I don't think this is covered enough on YouTube. That's sarcasm, by the way. But this is my 2 cents on it, or 5 cents as it were. 5 cents. So 5 tips for beginner guitar players. 1 to 5, they're actually in order. Number 1, don't bother learning. That's a joke, obviously. I wouldn't stop anybody from pursuing their dream, even though many comedians successfully thwarted. That's a hard word to say when you've had a few drinks. Thwarted my dreams of being a stand-up comedian, but they were right, because I was actually shit. No. Number 1, aim low. I've had so many guitar players ask me, beginner guitar players say, when they say so many, I mean 3, I've said, can you teach me how to play this by the Chili Peppers, or this by Jimi Hendrix, or can you teach me how to play this by, I don't know, fucking Rush? I don't even know how to play Rush. And just like, no. Easy songs. Get started with easy songs. John Lennon and Noel Gallagher are your friends, okay? Hendrix and Slash are not your friends when you're starting to learn how to play guitar, because you might be able to learn how to play I can teach you how to play that in 5 minutes, but you won't understand what it is. You know what I mean? You won't be able to apply it to different parts of your guitar playing. You just go on stage and go, well, can we play Purple Haze? And then you'll be like, well, we don't know that. And then you'll be like, oh, fuck them. No, learn the chords first. Chords and chord sequences. The circle of fifths. It's all, apart from the word chords, that probably sounds like nonsense to you guys, but if you're a beginner, I can't stress it enough, just start with the basics, like C, G, D, that little bastard F. You've got to do, at some point when you learn an F, you've got to do a bar, unless you want to do the fucking, is it Goo Goo Dolls or Oasis F, where it's just like C but with pinky on. You're going to have to, if you're going to do a proper F at some point, you're going to have to do a bar, and nobody wants to learn how to do bar chords until you have to learn how to do bar chords. So you learn the basics, you can play pretty much almost every Oasis song without learning bar chords, really, if you've got a capo. Capo is available here. Gary Johnson's signature capos. That's obviously bullshit, there's nothing here. But maybe I will have some signature capos one day. It'll just be my middle finger across the guitar going, fuck you, learn how to play bar chords. Useless cunt. Number 2, sorry, I told you I was pissed. Number 2, buy cheap but quality gear. That sounds like an oxymoron. You think, well, how do I buy cheap and quality gear? It's not that hard, really. Like, Squire is doing amazing gear at the moment. Like, one of my favourite guitars that I play at the moment has actually got a Squire body. But we're not talking about me right now. So, if you get yourself even a Bullet Strat, the Bullet Strats are something special. If you can get yourself a Bullet Strat before people work out that they're actually great guitars, you're sorted. I'm not going to go into the stuff that you would have to do to perfect that guitar to be a professional guitar. Not that it would ever be without a pickup change and, well, a lot of things. But they're just great guitars to start with, honestly. Squire, Epiphone, the Epiphone standards are really coming up, but they're a lot more. You can't really get a cheap Epiphone the way you can a cheap Squire. So I would just, I don't know, if you're a beginner, I think more people are into Strats these days than the Les Paul things. So I would just say go and get yourself a Bullet Strat or any kind of Squire. Squires are really cool, man. Really cool. I've got a couple of Squires. I don't give a shit about what's on a headstock. And by the way, if you're a beginner guitar player, it'll be a long time before you play any gigs where anybody gives a shit what's on a headstock, or even go to jam nights. So don't even. You're tempted to go in and go, I want to be I want one day to have a bike license, like a motorbike license, and obviously the first thing I'm going to do is go and give me a Harley Davidson. You know, it's the stupidest thing to do because you need to earn that right. I need to learn on a less powerful bike. You know what I mean? So, well, I don't know what I mean because I've never ridden a motorbike in my life. Unless I was clinging on to the tits of some old guy at Rockers that gave me a lift on one once. Down the Broomy lot, that's a different story as well. Have a budget. If you've only got 400 quid, if you've only got 300 quid, 200 quid, it's fine, you can still get some quality gear with that. But just don't care too much about what's on the headstock, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's Fender, it's just for learning on. All I'm saying is the Squire stuff is really good for that because, you know, even if you buy a Squire bullet second hand, I wouldn't even have a problem. Most of the bullets I've had 3 Squire bullets, 2 of them were second hand. And the first one I only bought because the first one I bought brand new was only because I knew then how to do it up to be a great guitar that I could use live. But honestly, the ones you could buy out of the box they're great guitars. So have a budget, but if you really care, go into the shop, test everything, just, you know, blindfold, just get them to say, just go in and go, well, I want a Strat, I want something that's less than 300 or 400 quid. Try a bunch of guitars in that price range. Honestly, you don't pick the guitar picks you. That might be the most douchey John Mayer thing I've ever said in my life. In fact, it might even be a direct quote. Anyway, so that was, fuck me, I'm already 6.5, I'm nearly 5 minutes in, and I've not even got to point 3. Point 3 is play. Right, when you're learning guitar, just play with other people as much as you can. Even if your mate next door plays the maracas, just play with him. You got to play with people who are at your level or better. Not saying the guy in the maracas is going to be better than you, but if he plays guitar, definitely just jam with anybody you can get that's around you. Oh, I'm learning guitar as well. Yeah, me too. This is why I love the jam nights, because as much as I go in and I'll do my thing, but by that point in the night I'm just too knackered to really, or let's face it, pissed to really do a good job. But I love going to jam nights and seeing guys doing what I was doing, 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago, and coming in and going, well, I learned this new lick, so I'm going to try it at the jam night. I'm going to bring my guitar in, and I love the guys bringing their own guitars in. It's fucking, it's a beautiful thing to see, man. It reminds me of when I went to do stand-up comedy and talking about myself again. It's not about me. Anyway, I was going to, aside from the play thing, I was going to say, play with people at your level, and but also play with people that are just above your level, because you're only going to get better if people push you. And it's rich for me to say that, because I'm the only guitar player in my band most of the time. But whenever I play with Gav at the Wolf, he always comes up with some lick that I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? And then I'll go home and I'll learn it, and then next week I'll come in and I'll try and play it, and he's learned another lick. So he always just makes me level up. But even just playing with Gibby and Dean, Gibby and Dean are two of the most professional, probably the most two professional players I've ever played with. Their tightness and their knowledge of each other's licks and timing is such that I'm just like, if I don't do a good job of keeping up with them, I know I didn't do a good job of keeping up, and I'm just like, alright, I need to fucking tighten up, straighten up, bro. And it works at any level, because I love going to the jams to see the younger guys, and not exactly even younger guys, but guys who are not as who have not done as many gigs as the rest of us, or whatever. Some of us, I should say. I'm trying really not to be cocky on this, but I hope you guys know me well enough now that I don't mean it that way in any way. But sometimes I like going to the State Bar Jam to get schooled by Jim Keel and Al Fleming, and the guys that are just that level up. And there's a lot of guys in Glasgow that are just every time I go and see them at even a jam night, I just get fucking schooled, man. I'm just like, oh, I see what he's doing there, I see what he's doing. Oh, what's he doing? And then my mind's just blown. So just keep working towards the next level, man. You don't have to actually. I can see there's a reflection in my window here, and I don't even know what that I can see it on my TV. I don't even know if you can see what it is, but it's a really random. It's a picture of a woman holding a lettuce. I was looking at juicing videos earlier, and that's why. Anyway, point number 4 is don't bother buying expensive gear. Sorry, we talked about that already. Don't buy expensive amps. If you really want to spend the money on the guitar as a beginner, right? But just for practicing, for learning on, if you do, let's just say you've got 300 quid and you want to learn how to play electric guitar. I haven't even brought the acoustic guys in because they could get one of these. In fact, that's probably one of the best guitars to learn in. It's a Yamaha F3110, and that's what me and all my pals from school used to learn in. All the Oasis, all the Britpop stuff, you know, and it's brilliant for the Beatles and anything chordy. Just get yourself a 3110, if that's what it is. But when it comes to electric guitar, you get to point number 4 here. Get a cheap amp. I just don't know why people. Oh, I've learned how to play C, G, D, and A. So what would you recommend as an amp? Like, why are you thinking about getting an amp right now? Like, I use a Blues Junior almost exclusively, but even that's like 700, 800 quid right now. Mine was second hand, so I got it for like 4. But if you're just learning, just get, I don't know, just anything, just plug it into your PC, just get one of these little fucking amp simulator things you can get that plugs into your guitar and goes straight into your headphones, or just get a wee practice amp, just get them off Facebook fucking marketplace for about 20 quid. Honestly, just don't bother with a pro amp when you're just learning. It annoys me when people spend way too much money before they should. Number 5. Right, I feel like I've rambled already. 12 minutes, I was only supposed to be doing 2 on this. Point number 5 here of my 5 tips for beginner guitar players. Either love the process of practicing or bin it. Like, nobody's going to force you to do it. I'm assuming most people watching this are like, not kids. Because, well, I don't know, there might be. They don't even have a reason for that. But if you don't really enjoy, I mean, what I mean by that is, like, when I was a kid, when most kids are learning guitar, well, when they were my age, they had nothing to distract them. We didn't have like YouTube. We didn't even have the internet when I was growing up. We didn't have a PC in our house till I was about 19, and that was about 2000. No, that can't be right. But it doesn't matter. It was about 1999. We got a PC, so it was literally just cassettes, CDs. I know I'm sounding like the get off my lawn guy right now, but just. There's so much out there for you to learn from, like YouTube videos. I'm not necessarily saying this might not be the best one to take. I'm just giving you tips if you are a beginner, but don't rely on it, is what I'm saying. Don't rely on YouTube to inspire you. Rely on listening to albums that you love. And if that is Jerry Cinnamon, then that might be the best way for you to start. You know, it's like Jerry Cinnamon is, by all intents and purposes, Belter is our generation's fucking Wonderwall, or Live Forever. You know, it's A minor, G, F. I guess it's Live Forever in that context. But just learn the basics. Don't try and learn even the lick for Mr. Brightside. Don't even bother. Just because it took me ages to learn it. I still can't do it properly. I'm not even going to try. I am going to try it right now, actually. Since you pushed me on it, you cunt. Right, where's my plectrums? It's going to be embarrassing. Oh, I'm never going to do it on this acoustic. No way. Alright, well then. That's how you would play it down the neck, but it's too hard to finger. no pun intended, or needed. I'm just saying, just pick easy songs to learn. And there's no need to go in it like Foxy Lady's pretty easy when you get into it. But if you don't enjoy practicing, then why are you even doing it? That's a question you've got to ask yourself. Like, if I'm not really enjoying sitting down on my own for like 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 hours a day and listening to albums and just learning note for note how those songs came together, and all you need is a chord book. The way I did it, well, this is another video altogether, but the way I did it was just, I loved Morning Glory and Definitely Maybe by Oasis, saved up my pocket money, bought the chord books, which one day I'll maybe show you on this channel, the chord books for, why would I show you that? You can look at them online anytime. And I just worked out, that's E minor, that's D, that's C, that's G. Just go on with it. You don't need YouTube, you don't need any of this. Why are you even watching this right now? You don't need it. If you want to play guitar and it's something that moves you emotionally, then go on with it. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. Because it moved me a lot. When I was 12 or 13-year-old, I needed to play guitar. I wanted an outlet for something, and that was what it was. Could have been anything. Could have been, well, that's the thing. I can't think of anything else that it could have been. I'm sure a lot of you guys have got other things that it might well have been at the time, and you've got to this point and you may be like, well, how do I start learning how to play guitar? And that's what this video was about. So I hope it wasn't patronising. I'm definitely not trying to be that. But I'm just saying, it needs to excite you. You need to enjoy every step of the way. And as much as we're playing a lot of gigs right now because lockdown cancelled a lot of gigs, and then they're all moved over this year. So me and the guys are just burned out, but I can't speak for them, but I'm still just loving every day I plug that guitar in and I get to play music for a living. It's just beautiful, man. To me, some gigs are more fun than others because some gigs are like songs that you would want to play even if you weren't getting paid, and some gigs are songs that you play because of another version of the enjoyment, which is just enjoying people having a good time listening to your music or dancing to your music or singing along to your music. So it's not our music, obviously, it's just us playing other people's music. I get that. But yeah, it's a great, it's a tough road, but it's totally worthwhile. Anyway, I'm going to bin it before I start getting too emotional. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this has been useful to anybody who's starting out. And if you've done this for a while, don't be too harsh. Shut up.